Thank you. Thank you so much.
We live.
We live. It is another Wednesday, September the 20th. Oh my gosh. September almost over. I feel like it just started.
This year is going by really, really
Tell me
What in
about
the
it.
world? Wasn't it just August?
definitely was.
But anywho, this is Mind of My Own Podcast. I'm your host, Kenda, and I have these beautiful ladies with me here today. These are my special guests. This is Savannah and this is Tiffany.
Hey.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Look, I'm like, where am I looking at?
I don't know either.
Thank y'all so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks
You're
for having
welcome.
us.
Thanks for having us.
I've really been looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this.
You're a whole ball of energy.
Right.
You're a whole
Both
ball
of y'all
energy.
are. Both of y'all are. I love y'all.
Oh.
It's so crazy because I kept running into her and I'm like,
Okay.
it's man. We gotta.
Yes.
Look, now I'm gonna see you
And
everywhere.
this-
Like, girl, move.
And the same with you. I met you and then I
Right
just kept
here.
seeing you here at
Mhm.
Sherman Phoenix. And I'm like, every time we interact, the energy is dope.
Right.
And it's so good. And we talk and
Absolutely.
I love it. I love that.
Me too. You are who you are.
Absolutely.
I love it. You got a dope vibe.
Thank you.
Definitely,
Thank
most
you.
definitely. I
Thank
was
you.
running into her all the time. I'm like, aren't
Really?
you? She's like, I'm like, hey.
And Milwaukee is so small, so
Oh,
Yes.
somebody
yes.
knows somebody.
Absolutely.
One of us is probably cousins, and we don't know
We
it.
found out we actually
Really?
are.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah.
We actually are. And it's
Yeah.
crazy because our families are so big.
Mhm.
Huge.
I can
So
imagine.
big. Yeah. So it's wild.
How do we find out? On the comment?
on a comment on a Facebook
Really?
post.
Okay. Like, hey, cousin.
Yeah. I was talking to her and they're like, wait, that's my cousin.
Really?
Y'all cousins? Yeah, we cousins. Then we cousins.
Right.
It was one of those moments. It was one of those moments. So yeah, this is great. So I wanted to bring you ladies together so we can talk about womanhood.
Okay.
You know, what that means to us when we realize that we had entered that phase in our lives, how we define it
Mhm.
as ourselves. Because it looks different for every woman.
Yeah.
You know, some of the things we experience and how we find that inner energy to just
Right. Yeah.
cry our cries, scream our screams, but then still be like, okay. Whew. And keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a challenge because every day somebody's telling us not to love ourselves. Every day social media is telling you to live life a certain way, to have goals, be measurable to someone else's goals. That you should be at a certain point in your life, depending on your age. As a woman, you should either have kids by now or be married by now. All kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Too much.
Too much
I'm
stuff.
sick of it. I'm
Right.
just being honest. I'm sick of it.
Mhm.
So I wanna hear y'all take on things right now, like in your lives and what you're doing. So I'll start with each of you, because I feel like it looks different, and
Mhm.
so we can learn from each other just by talking about our experiences and the way we perceive things.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So let's start with you, Tiff. Let's start with you.
About woman, my definition of woman.
Yeah. What's your definition,
Okay,
sis?
we're gonna start off with the first one. So,
Okay.
as a young girl, I thought it was once you got the cycle, you were a woman.
I can identify with that.
So,
Yep.
just keeping up with that, and that's scary for some girls.
Girl.
For me, I was really scared. Like, what? How often do I gotta go change these? All right, this is every month.
Yes,
But
y'all
then,
know.
then as you grow and you're surrounded by other women, not just women that look like you,
Mm-hmm.
but people like outside of your race, and seeing how they look, as a woman,
Right.
like you just said, like trying to keep up and figuring out what does that look like for you. So now in this phase at age 38, I'm trying to redefine what is womanhood.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, okay, do I go based off of society's standard of what I should be as a woman? Like, feeling pressure to be married, um, having children. Because I got married at 21,
Yeah.
young, because I was scared. I'm a Christian, and I wanted to have fun.
Yeah.
And I felt like, okay, the only way I can do that is if I have a husband, and then we, go through life, and then we have children, because God's going to be pleased with this.
Yeah.
But all that changed. I started
Yeah.
living life. I mean, not to say that God isn't pleased with me at this stage in my life, but as you grow and you see, okay, that's not really what it is. That Bible or is that tradition?
Mhm.
So, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
So
that's
come back to me. I'm still trying to
hey, you know what?
put a pin there. I
That's
got the
why we're
younger
here.
version of womanhood.
That's why we're here. Right? That's why we're
Mhm.
here.
That's
Because
interesting.
it is very interesting because like you said, you thought it was this thing, but as you got older, you surround yourself with more women
Right.
and you realize that it continuously redefines.
Right.
It evolves, you change, you grow,
Yes.
you develop, and your expectations
Mhm.
for yourself
Mhm.
start to unravel,
Right.
in a sense, right?
Yeah. And then even being raised by my mom, who's a single mother, and I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
that's hard. So
Mhm.
she's been at every co-thee practice. Whenever I want to play an instrument, she was going around Milwaukee. We were just talking about this the other day, going around Milwaukee trying to find me a violin, a clarinet, some drumsticks. So I thought I could play it all. So, just seeing that and it's like, whoa, this is going to be hard, once I get to that age. So, but I thank her.
Yes, I
That's
love
what
that.
showed me what a strong woman.
I know
looks
that's
like,
right. I'm gonna
so.
clap for your mama. I just pressed the clapping button, y'all. And y'all might not have heard it. We've been some technical difficulties a little bit with the clap. So if you didn't hear the clap, just know I was clapping for that.
Right. We'll clap it here, right?
Yes. Clapping for that.
Round.
Some things need a clap, and we need to clap for your mama.
Yeah, absolutely. Who's probably at home watching. She said 7:30, right? I'm like, here you go.
I love it. I love it.
You have to replay.
Yes.
Right.
Gonna be
That's for everybody.
And what about you, sis? What do you think?
It's so much to say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like womanhood is, I'm not going to say a puzzle because a puzzle fits somewhere and it fits, right? And it stays there.
Yep.
I feel like womanhood is different puzzles. I'm going to say that because you can be raised by a woman and you cannot like how your mother raised you or how the mother figure raised you. And when you get out into the world and you are involving within yourself because you have the household you have your friends, how you trying to figure out who you are, and then you depart to them and you go somewhere else that you don't know anyone and you're trying to find yourself. So you got all these different pieces of womanly that you have experienced as to what feels comfortable for you. So I feel like womanhood is what feels comfortable for you at that time, at that moment. So if you are a mother, you have some not so good mothers, and you have mothers that's going to make it happy by any means necessary, and it's going to make it look easy. So then that's a strong woman. That's a woman that's going to figure it out and learn from her mistakes at that moment too. But then we don't pat our own selves on the back when we need our own pat. We don't need validation, but that comes with knowing your worth and knowing who you are and being comfortable within you. So you don't need validation. If you get it, it's like, okay, girl, thank you. But I already got my validation. My validation is gonna make me go.
Yes.
So I just feel like womanhood is being comfortable in your own skin, knowing who you are, because there's people at this age that still don't know who they are. They still living for others. You're living for your kids. You're living for your mate. But what about you? What do you like? What makes you go? What makes you thrive? So I feel like people be so caught up in their own family, they don't take out the time for themselves. So that womanhood wear many different hats for me.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, I can go on and on.
Yes, I'm gonna clap for that.
But it's not just one definition, right?
I'm gonna have to agree with both of you ladies. At some point, and because I had mentioned what's the difference between being a girl, because we see it all the time. People say, "Nah, you was with a girl. You wasn't with no woman."
Right.
When you talk about relationships and things. So clearly, people have established what a woman child is compared to what womanhood is.
Yeah.
So there are childish women, right? And then there are
Mhm.
women who understand how to be a woman.
Right.
Um, today's outlook on womanhood looks a lot different than it would have looked decades ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You got to be okay
Decades
with
ago.
that.
Yes, because now it has so much more meaning to it than it did when we were girls coming up.
Mhm.
When we were girls coming up, um, we were given baby dolls. Honestly, that's when I realized that's what I associated womanhood with. I was given a baby doll.
Mhm.
And they had them little bottles where you would tilt them upside down and they'll turn from milk to orange juice. Y'all remember them?
Mm-hmm.
And the
I
eye, look
still
with the
like them
eyes
damn
like
dolls.
this.
Yes.
With
The eyes would go like this.
You could feed them and
Yeah, they had that little hard head and that soft body.
yeah.
Well, you
So-
know, I was convinced as a kid that I was a Cabbage Patch.
I love
And then
I
what
love
was the
Cabbage
other
Patch
one?
dolls.
Kid Sister, when they had the African American one.
Yes,
I'll show you guys a
Kenya.
picture.
Kenya. Wasn't there a doll
Oh,
named
okay.
Kenya and she had
Oh, yeah.
African
Mhm.
attire on?
Okay, I'm not
Oh,
don't be
y'all gotta
fake,
look at
y'all.
Kenya.
Like,
I had a Kenya
But
doll.
I
Let
had
me
a
see if I
Cabbage
can
Patch.
find this.
I had a Cabbage
Down
Patch too.
that glowed, her face glowed with the cheeks.
Really? This is Cabbage Patch? You still got it?
No,
I
unfortunately,
love
don't.
that.
But that was one of my favorites. And then I had the one that you can feed and
Okay.
get peas and
Mhm.
all of that.
Yeah.
That was the more
Yes,
advanced
you put the
one.
spoon in their mouth and the peas
What was
disappear.
that called? Yeah.
Look, now I'm
So-
thinking like, did I have it? Look, I'm like, I'm like, Mom, did you get me?
Right. Why I
Knowing-
didn't get my
Knowing I
baby doll?
did. But I was probably trying to feed him real food. Like, here's some chicken and some yams.
But I think that's where and this was before I was even a teenager.
Okay.
At a younger age,
Mhm.
I associated womanhood with, oh, I'm gonna have a baby one day, and I'm gonna be somebody's mama.
Mhm.
And you know, that was the age where you had your little baby doll
Mhm.
and you had your little friend, and that little friend was the daddy, and y'all was playing around, playing house, and you had the little house.
Right.
We had that in school, in kindergarten. I remember really clearly. I remember somebody took my baby doll from me. I was not happy.
Wait, at school?
Yes. How come I remember that? That was elementary,
Wait, why was y'all
kindergarten.
down at
Mama.
school now?
I was traumatized by somebody
Not-
taking my baby at a young age.
Did you hide it in your bag? How did they get Never mind.
Oh my God.
I have so
So-
many questions.
Listen. So to piggyback off of what you said, right?
Mhm.
You identify womanhood with your menstrual.
Mhm.
We was taught that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. You identified
With
womanhood
motherhood.
Mhm.
with motherhood, right?
Yep.
I didn't.
Really?
Now,
okay.
so
Interesting.
I knew
Mhm.
that you are you are a woman once you have your period, right?
Mhm.
But 12-year-olds get their periods, right?
Okay.
So that
Yeah.
kind of left open questions for me.
Right.
Get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then 12-year-olds also can have a baby if they're having a period, right?
Exactly.
True.
So I was one of those children. I didn't have no baby at 12, but I was one of those children that was very spoiled. So when I had my child, I had so much help, so much support.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I still had
Mhm.
hissy fits, right? Like I
Really?
took care of my kids.
But you
I
had-
was
okay.
never absent. I was there. I was doing me.
Yeah.
But I still was a baby of the family.
Okay.
My identify as a woman became when I don't know exactly what it was, but when I couldn't figure something out, I
Okay.
couldn't figure it out, and I had to figure it out.
On your own.
Like nobody, I don't know where people was at, but my support wasn't there,
Okay.
and I don't even think that I reached out to them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it. I really don't know what it was because I could say, but I really think it was something that I wanted to keep to myself. I want to say it's probably something I wanted to keep to myself, and I had to figure it out. I had to go through all the emotions myself. I didn't get the pep talk. I didn't have nobody fixing it for me.
Wow.
So
I like that. That's a good point.
at that moment, I'm like, damn, this is what adulthood feel like.
Mhm, mhm.
So
yeah.
that never left from me, and I really can't tell you what it was. I really want to remember, but I can't. But from that moment on, it's been, I'm gonna do whatever it is necessary to do it, especially when it's my responsibility.
Mhm.
Right.
And then cry and laugh about it later. But that's when I identified as being a woman.
Yes.
Go-
I can identify
not-
with that too.
Yeah, that was my thing because
Yeah.
I don't know. That was
Yeah.
maybe
Having to
because I
step
had
up and
to
figure it
work
out.
through it, and still to this
Mhm.
day we got to work through it.
Yes.
Right.
So before I came here, which was so funny that you invited me to this podcast, I had work appointments, child,
Yes.
her appointment. I'm back in school now. And then here,
Mhm.
like it was like da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I had
Whole day
all
just-
different hats, all different gear for the
Mhm.
whole day, and I still made everything. Everybody was still satisfied, even though
That's
times has
womanhood.
got
Yeah.
touched. Not touched. Times has got limited,
Yeah.
but everything was accomplished, and everybody was happy, and I was able to meet everything because I felt everything that was on my plate today was a must touch.
Right.
So being a woman and associating womanhood with balancing
Mhm.
Oh, yes.
Or
our
multitasking.
priorities,
Yes.
Being able to multitask.
and still being able to collect ourselves, control ourselves.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's so much.
Right.
And we do it.
Mhm.
We do it.
A lot of times we don't even complain. Most of us don't complain. We just know what we have to do
Right.
and we do it.
That's
And we do it.
Pilot mode.
Yeah.
That's that pilot mode.
Mhm.
And I used to pilot like that, and I still do, but I have more self-control. I stopped piloting like that when I started blowing up at the wrong people.
Because it was like,
yes.
I do,
Excuse
and
me.
then maybe the wrong person, the wrong time, and saying the wrong thing, and I just can't take it anymore. And it's like, bam.
Yeah.
So I learned from that, and I started piloting, but taking care of myself at that day. If I had a rough day, I'm gonna do something that pleases me. I don't care if it's eating a whole cake,
Right.
taking a 45-minute shower. I don't care
Yeah.
what that may be.
Mhm.
Impulsive shopping. As long as I feel good at the end of the day when I lay down after I done took care of everybody, I'm okay.
Right.
That brings me to like more so my current definition, or what I would say right now, what I feel womanhood represents for me is understanding that I owe no one an explanation.
High five across the table, girl.
I don't owe you shit.
I kept that.
I'm like,
Not the kids.
High
Asking
five to
why.
I don't care who you are. Hear me now. Hear me. As a woman
right.
today, I don't owe anybody anything. However,
Mhm.
as a woman, I do what my heart tells me to do.
Mhm.
I do what I feel is right. As a woman, it's taking ownership of the things I want out of life. And if I want to be considerate, then that's what I'll be.
Right.
If I want to support somebody,
Mhm.
then that's what I'll do. If I want to love you, then I will love you.
Right.
If I don't like you,
You like, I got
then I'm getting the hell away from you.
like, I got something to say.
Womanhood is do me. What? Do me. By all means, do me. That's womanhood for me. What about you?
I have
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna comment on what
Look,
you
she's
said.
speechless now.
So hold on. I have a couple of questions, right?
Yes, let's go.
So that's womanhood for you.
Yes.
I want to ask you a question before I ask you something. So listen, I
Yes.
want to ask you a question before I ask you something. So listen, when you say you don't owe nobody anything,
Yes.
I get that part. But then when you
Mhm.
start saying, does that include loyalty? Do that include
Oh no,
love?
it doesn't include
Unconditional love? Do that
nope.
include? So that doesn't
It means
include that.
I don't owe anybody an explanation for the things I want out
To
of
do-
life.
Okay.
And it doesn't mean that I owe anybody any explanation for where I am in my life. I'm not keeping up with no Joneses. I don't owe you nothing. I don't have to catch up with you. No,
Okay.
I don't have to do anything to
Mhm.
mimic you. I don't have to think like you.
Most definitely.
This is who I am. And you either gonna like me and love
Right.
me, or you're not. And then you can get out of my space if you don't. It's
Right.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
I'm not defined by my company.
If your company respects you, they're gonna be there anyway.
Yes.
So that's knowing your people and setting your boundaries. If they can't respect that,
Absolutely.
they're not your people anyways.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Now, what's your other question?
I ain't have to ask.
Oh,
Them.
okay.
I'm like, wait a minute now.
Yes,
Hold on.
Right. It's so
No.
funny that you said that you don't have to keep up with the Joneses. And I think about my mom at a young age because she wanted me to, be empowered, be inspired,
Yeah.
to be a strong African American. I mean, at the time I was a child, but she would make me go in the mirror and say, I am somebody.
Yes.
I
And then
love it.
after that, she would tell me, you don't have to keep up with the Joneses because you are one. Because my last name, my maiden name is Jones.
Hey,
So
now.
I carry that. And like now, even though, men that I've come in contact with being in those rooms, they might say, you're aggressive, you're robust, you're this, you're that. And I'm just like, at
This
this
is
point,
who I am.
I don't even care because it
Yeah.
got me here.
Yeah.
And I always, as a child, I looked for validation, but as I grew older, I didn't need it anymore because
Yeah.
all those things that were, poured into me from strong Black woman, and
No,
not
that's
just
right.
only strong Black women, because I've worked in markets where I've been positioned to work with Caucasian women or white
Yeah.
women, Asian people, being multicultural or just networking with people, you get to see a glimpse of, okay, so this culture do it this way, that culture do it that way. What can I learn? What nugget can I take?
Mm-hmm.
And then add that to Tiffany so that when I do go into these rooms where I'm not expected to go in, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you
So
can
I
relate.
tell people, I don't need to have a seat at the table. I am the table.
I know that's right, sis.
Yes. I
Like,
love your
no,
mama for
I'm
that.
giving
Your
her
mother
that.
for that.
Mhm.
Because I do that with mine. Because
Yes.
teenagers see it's this all day, right?
Mhm.
We don't know what's going on.
Right.
But I make myself involved. I do a lot of questions.
Yes.
And even sometimes, like today, I've been busy. I sent them out a text.
Mhm.
I know I'm busy today, but if you need
Right.
anything or you need to talk about something, come to me.
Mhm.
Yes.
I'm busy, right?
You got
But
to.
I feel like that was very necessary because we deal with so much as children that we should not deal with that makes us question ourselves. So,
Yes.
like today, it
Mhm.
wasn't big booties back then. You had to be slim. Like a
Right.
toothpick
It was
back then.
not big.
I'm
booties.
in now.
It
You
was
know what
just
I'm
you was
saying?
just you was just cute,
Right.
or you was either cute or you wasn't, and that was just what it was. Like
Yeah.
that's at least that's what they tried to tell you.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, these days, the expectation of beauty is so ridiculous.
Mhm.
So that's why it's so important to
Mhm.
love you. You know what I mean?
And you got to
So,
understand what beauty is. It's not
Yeah.
the looks. Because if you got burnt today,
Right.
then where you're going to go
Right.
off of?
Right.
I always tell my
Right.
girls, beauty comes from within.
Mhm.
It does.
You have to be a pleasant, nice person. You
Right.
have to be.
Mhm.
And that's going to exude out. I don't care
Yeah.
how you look. Even
Yeah.
if you are not so cute,
Mhm.
you're going to be beautiful because you got a beautiful soul.
Right.
And then if you know how to talk and know how to carry yourself, and you're not
Mhm.
aggressive. They're just not used to women talking.
Right.
They're
Talking.
not
They
used
pushed
to
us
you.
back so
Yeah.
hard.
Right.
Women is really, and I'm going to say it,
Mhm.
women is really more powerful than men. Men can't do what we do.
Yeah.
Most women can't do what the strong women do.
Right.
We do so much and we carry it so well because
Mhm.
while we want to involve, we want to get to where we need to get to, and we want to live a certain type of way. So we know the steps to take to go there and get it.
Right.
And we're going to grind to get it, whatever that means. You probably tired, you got up and you just did your thing, right? That doesn't mean you look how you feel.
Right.
No, people
Absolutely.
don't know how to.
Come on. Tell 'em.
I feel like
Yeah.
women do run the world. We
Mhm.
do. We open up a lot of doors, and we haven't got our validation yet from the world,
Mhm.
but we know we
Yeah.
are the stuff.
Mhm.
We know it, right?
We
We
definitely
opened
know
up
it.
so much. We carry
Right.
our men. Our men. Most men can't carry us. Most men can't
Mhm.
carry the family. They see carrying a family is this. No. As mothers, we
Right.
do this.
Right.
We nurture.
Mhm.
We are involved. We are intensive.
Mhm.
We are your protector as well. Most men don't have all that. That doesn't make them less than a man, but that's
Right.
why we are
See,
one
you know what?
Right.
men.
That
Mhm.
actually brings me to a whole nother thing. Then I think guys are gonna have to define what manhood is.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm gonna let you have it in a minute, but yeah, because
Right.
no, there's so much like today in this world.
Yeah.
If you are confident within yourself, it's okay to me.
Mhm.
It's okay to let a man stay at home and do the womanly duties because maybe you make more than him,
Mhm.
and maybe you can take y'all farther than he can.
Right.
Good
Who
points.
cares what the outside
Mhm.
world thing?
Right.
This is what works for us.
Mhm.
I just
And that
heard.
doesn't mean that he's not a man.
Right.
Yeah,
We
I
just
agree.
switching roles, and it's okay, right?
I just heard Tyler Perry make a comment like that
Oh.
on Breakfast Club recently. It was
Okay.
something in the sense of women need to understand that if they have a good partner,
Mhm.
even if they make less money than you, if they're a good person and they're loving you and you love them and everything else is okay, everything is good, why let the income itself define the
Right.
relationship that y'all have? This is a whole nother spin-off on topic,
Right.
by the way.
Section 2.
But you know what that,
Um,
that comes up with, and not to cut you off, is
Yeah,
okay, it's three of us, right?
yeah,
So if I'm say this is the girls' night and we having a good old time, and I'm telling you how great my man is, and he got this much money and this much,
yeah.
and you know your man, I'm just using this as an example, just lost his job and all this other stuff. So after this girls' night, you going back home like Tiffany just said that her man doing this. And it's like, no,
No, that's not what you don't do.
right.
Yeah.
Your household is totally different from my whole household. Whatever works for me, and then whatever works for you guys. But we get in those conversations, those girl nights, and thinking that, okay, because I seen her drive this and she worked this and this is how much money she made, this is what I'm supposed to do. Like, no, honey,
Right.
you have to figure. You don't know what I did to get to where I am. It might look good on the outside, but I have some things that I've been working through on the inside.
You
too,
might have
so,
a penny in your bank account.
Right.
Like
everybody
Exactly.
can dress it up nice until you have a conversation with them, like, oh wait, she not doing that good.
Right,
So,
right. It can be things that
mhm.
that they holding back.
Right.
And I feel like
Or trying to keep up with the
Yeah.
or
Joneses.
smart,
Trying
smart,
to portray an
intelligent
image,
friends
yeah.
that love one another should be able to have those difficult and uncomfortable
Right.
conversations while the other woman lift up, not
Mhm.
as if, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And too many women do that. You
Mhm.
friends with someone, but y'all really not friends.
Yeah.
I don't say
You know
that.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Say
I
that.
actually
Say that.
I actually can really identify with that.
Mhm.
I was talking to a friend of mine recently who I actually consider a friend. And I said, I'm gonna stop calling people friends. I'm gonna call them buddies.
Associates.
You a
So
buddy
we on
like
the same way.
you a
Right.
buddy.
Okay.
And you either my big buddy or my little buddy.
Oh.
Not
Big buddy. I'm just
Friends you invite to your house.
hey, I'm
You know.
silly. I'm goofy to the core. But y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
I know what you're
Is
saying.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Part
because
of-
people are doing so much. Like, I guess we live in a world now, it's about likes, follows, and all this other stuff. So people aren't even being their real authentic self because they're
Right.
trying to, portray something else. And it's like, no, let's get to the core and work on some things.
Right.
Because it's
People-
something that you might have and possess that I'm in need of. But if we don't have a real conversation, I would never get what I'm in need of
Yeah.
from you. Okay.
I was gonna
Or
say
vice versa.
I
you
actually
know?
feel like then that's also part of womanhood then.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot
Have
of
Is
those
women
being
real
able to connect
conversations.
with other women,
Mhm.
have intimate conversations, and really genuinely want to know them. And you
Right.
can't just pick and choose parts of a person that you're going to embrace.
Mhm.
You have to embrace the whole me. So you can't say, "Oh, I love you" when we're on good terms,
Mhm.
but when we're on bad terms, I don't love you anymore.
Right.
Can I say something about
Let's
that?
go. Let's go.
So listen, let me tell you something. This is gonna get deep.
No, let's get deep because this is what we do.
Right.
If you don't love yourself,
Yeah.
you have to love you. If you don't love yourself, that's why you're loving others with conditions.
Mhm.
Anybody that's loving anybody with conditions,
Yes.
they don't love themselves. So don't take it personal. But you got to understand the whole method behind that.
Right.
I can't give you what I don't have.
Right.
If I'm
right.
inconsistent with you, that's because I'm inconsistent with myself. So
Mhm.
how can I treat you better than I'm treating me?
Yeah.
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 The only time somebody can love you unconditionally if
Mhm.
they are in love
Love
with
with
themselves.
themselves.
Yeah.
It exudes out. It's almost natural, right?
Yeah.
There's no, oh, I love you today, but you pissed me off so,
Right.
and I know you needed a ride to the airport, so I'm not. No, that's
Right.
not how you operate.
Right.
You are still supposed to do what you are supposed to do, even when you are feeling some type of way.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Mhm.
You don't get to pick and choose. You can, but
And then
not
that
in,
just
not in
means
a
that-
relationship. That
means
means
that there isn't one.
there is
Right.
none. That's conditions, and you don't
Mhm.
want nobody conditions. You want somebody that's gonna be there all the time for you.
Right.
You don't want to have to think seconds. Somebody fucking a dog see you, coming. You want somebody like, come on, girl, let's go. You don't want nobody that's leaving you like,
Right,
running,
like,
running,
where
like,
she
where she
go?
going?
Right.
You don't
Right.
want that.
Right.
At least for me, I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like when we had this conversation before, we kind of talked a little bit about relationships and what support looks like to us on one of our other episodes, the one
Yeah,
that we're
yeah.
on last. And I can recall us also saying in that conversation that you have to understand that people need to know their place
Right.
when it comes to
Yeah.
the relationship that they're building with you.
Mhm.
My relationship with you will not look the same as my relationship with this person. And it's not going to look the same as my relationship with
Say
that
that
person
again,
over there.
because
Yeah.
people call that so fake. That's not being
No,
fake.
it's
Right.
just I learned how to
Yeah.
treat you, and
Mhm.
we have an understanding on what that looks like between you and I.
Yeah.
Now, if you get mad because I'm not giving you what I'm giving over here, did you earn that from me? Because then at that point in time, I feel like things start to get a little bit more complex,
Mhm.
because I can't give the same thing to everybody. Then I won't have anything left to give.
Right.
You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I can't take 10 phone calls from 10 different people and they all want to dump on me.
Yeah.
They all want to say, you know,
Mhm.
he doing this to me, but then you call me every day to tell me that. But you don't plan on leaving this guy at all.
Mhm.
You don't plan on leaving this guy at all. You're not going to. And you want to stress me out.
Mhm.
We're not doing that, sis.
Right.
We can talk about it when you need to talk about it. Absolutely, I'm here for you. But imagine having 10 people expect that they can just contact you and dump on you. So boundaries is a huge thing as well.
Yes.
And so that's what I mean by everybody's going to have their place in your life, and that needs to be well communicated at some point,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
So that they know what the expectations are. What are we doing? What are we doing with each other?
Right.
You might be my brunch friend. You might be my friend that wants to travel.
Mhm.
I might not take my brunch friend traveling with me.
Right.
That's-
She
Yeah.
might be one of the ones that make traveling a living hell.
You know what? Come on, pack up, girl. We got to go.
Right. You're not coming with me, sis. I
Right.
love you. I promise I do.
Right.
But
Mhm.
we're not traveling together.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Yeah, I explain
So-
the same thing to my kids.
Mhm.
yeah.
My party friends, they do not know where I stay. No, they just good for party. I know I'm gonna have a great time with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and fortunately for me,
Mhm.
they have got letting go
Mhm.
because they behaviors. But at that time, they were my partying friends.
Mhm.
They didn't know nothing else I had going on in my life because that was not their place.
I
Right.
see.
I probably
Yeah.
got somebody that comes sit on my couch every day, but she would never go out with me
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
she probably gonna bore me to death. That's not her place.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really kind of like an all around type of person. So I did at one point have different friends for different things because they serve their purpose.
Right.
Does that mean anything? No, this is what you gave me to work with. So this is what we're doing so we both can be happy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think
Right?
that's also part of it too.
Excuse me.
The way that the reason why women can be the way that we are, which is really adaptable too.
Mhm.
Mhm.
We're very adaptable women. Like, we, oh wait, what? I wasn't expecting a baby, but I'm
Right.
pregnant. Guess I better get with it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Guess I better get with it. Let me start planning my life from here on,
Right.
because it's no longer about me.
Mhm.
It's about me and this kid.
Right.
And I gotta be the best me to be the best mommy to this kid. So let me get my shit together.
Right. Yeah.
We don't have the luxury to, I mean, not saying that some don't do this, but shame on y'all.
Mhm.
But we really don't have the luxury to just be like, I'm just not gonna be the mother to this kid. I'm just gonna be the baby mama. Here, you take the baby, and then you raise the baby, and then I'll see the
lot
baby
do.
every other
A
weekend,
lot
and
do that.
you do you.
I was gonna say now in this time we see
Yeah,
that
a lot
more
do
and
that.
more.
It's
And
like
that's why I
more
said,
men
and
are
shame
doing
on you.
Yep, more and more.
But that's
yeah.
that's really not. No.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah.
I really just don't agree with that.
I don't either.
I don't agree with it.
So I was
But
gonna say when I was
that's me.
younger, what was it? If the mom wasn't ready to mother that child, they would send them down south to grandma or big mama's
Yes,
house,
or
right?
someone else. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that's kind of changed because what grandmas aren't even grandmas anymore. Because
Yeah.
I work for MPS,
Mhm,
so I see a lot of people and they're like, "That's my grandma." What? That look like your mama. And that's my great grandma. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay.
Wow.
Make it make sense.
They be having babies. They be having babies for the wrong reason. You can't have no baby to keep nobody.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a whole nother subject.
Yeah.
That
Right. But it's mindset too. We have to get
Yes.
to a place where those older women that were back when we were younger that didn't mind having those hard conversations. Now people are on the edge and they're sensitive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every little thing you see, there's a movement for every little thing. I'm like, come on now. When I was a kid, that wasn't no movement.
Why are these
Yeah.
kids so? This not all,
Mhm.
but this generation is weak.
Yes.
Like they are so traumatized by everything. You yell at your kid. Not these are not my kids I'm talking about.
Mhm.
But you yell at your kid. Oh my God, I'm trauma. You trauma.
Mhm.
You lucky I didn't slap you upside your head. You know what I'm saying? Like kids be around
Here
the
go. Let
store
me slide
yelling
this
and
side.
crying.
Make sure I got a job tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like these kids
He's talking about slap my
develop
side.
trauma in their head because
Oh.
they can't do what it is that they want to do, and their whole life is flashing before them. And it's like, what did you go through? What
Yeah.
Yeah.
did something happen to you?
Mhm.
Yeah.
When back in our day, we did anything. Where were you at the next day? Back outside,
Yeah,
back at school,
outside,
telling
riding
somebody
your bike.
something,
Man.
having the best of our lives. Can't wait to get outside.
Mhm.
Double dutch, hanging with the older crew. And even back then, the older crew respected the younger crew. That's none of that. That's none of that today. None of that today. We did anything to get in trouble. We gonna all collectively figure it out so I can come back outside the next day.
Right.
These kids,
Shit.
here,
Not my day. Not
you
my
say,
day.
no.
We was going to bed
What
at
was they
6
getting?
p.m. and I was pissed.
6 p.m.
I was
Oh,
pissed.
Lord.
What time did the street lights come on?
Hey, we was in trouble. We was all in trouble, and we was going to bed early.
Yeah.
Okay, wasn't no
I
we
don't-
was outside still.
I don't approve of that.
Well, I was the only child, so I didn't have anybody to blame except for my friend downstairs. So
Oh
yeah,
my God.
we got in
These
trouble
kids,
together. So, but yeah.
it's society.
But they don't even go outside like that. I mean, their outside is a definition of something else.
Yeah,
They
I mean,
outside
they
is
doing
little different, but
All on the phone.
And then, like, if
the
you
older
had a
kids
kid,
for sure, yeah.
back then, we was all, other parents was able to discipline us
Right.
without the other parent not feeling no type of way.
Mhm.
You say something to somebody else's kid these days,
It's over.
it's like, are you condoning this?
Mhm.
Like, we can't say or discipline the other kids without the parents feeling some type of way.
Mhm.
Why? It takes a village to raise a kid.
Yeah, it definitely does. But the type of people that they're being raised around the world is so different now.
Mhm.
Man, it's women that think it's okay to have their booty cheeks out.
While
with
they're with their
kids.
kids.
Your
With
booty
their
cheeks is
kids.
out at the zoo.
The zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to the zoo with some coworkers and our
Mhm.
kids, and booty cheeks was everywhere.
Wow.
That's disgusting and that's embarrassing.
And I have a teenage son who's 15, and I already know at that age, eyes is wondering.
Mhm.
I'm not, that's another thing is, you got to educate them on things. But
Mhm.
I know that he sees booty cheeks. I ain't dumb. And it irritates me when, that's it's everywhere.
Mhm.
So I'm like, girl, and you with your kids too? And
Yeah, but
we
that
at
brings
the
to another
zoo.
thing. Now it's what? Body positivity. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh well, why are you looking at me like that? I'm expressing myself, and it's like, all right.
Why do people think that's like no? And that's not body shaming
All right.
either.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have
body
to
shaming.
be. I hate when people. Oh, why you body shaming her? No, you cannot. You can't. You shouldn't want to come to certain
Mhm.
places looking like that.
Right.
Right.
You should want to dress the part for your respect. Because if a dude, I'm just saying, listen,
Mhm.
if a dude come up and grab that, is he wrong? Yes, he should keep his hands to himself. But you are inviting him to do that. You
Mhm.
are putting it all out there, saying that it's okay. I'm not saying that women. It's okay for men to just grab on people, come in their personal space. But what do you think you're doing? What type of looks do you think you're attracting?
I
You ain't attracting no
really
man and no
feel
woman,
like-
no respect.
You're right.
I feel like, there is a time and place.
Mhm.
As a woman, here we go back to womanhood, and I'm gonna keep bringing it back,
Roll it back.
rolling it back.
Right.
As a woman, there is a place and time, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, and that's why every woman defines womanhood differently,
Mhm.
because honestly, that's just what it is.
Right.
But my opinion, it is my show, and I will talk about how I feel. And if you don't like it,
Lord.
But I feel like we decide,
Mhm.
when that is, when we choose to express ourselves, we decide when that is. But come on now, when kids is around, I just feel like it's common sense.
Right.
It's common
Yeah.
sense.
But like I keep going back to this. When are those women back in the day that come, "Hey, baby, pull your skirt down or put this on"? We don't have those
I
people
got that
anymore.
No, we
inner
don't. We
inner
don't.
me, but you start
Yeah.
trying to buck up, I'm gonna have to bring the old me out. So I just kind of be like, I don't
Yeah.
say nothing because they bring that other
Yeah.
side out of you.
Oh,
You have to act
absolutely.
ignorant only because you are trying to have them respect themselves and other people around them.
It has become a time where even the fashion, even like the way that women and girls dress, even little girls, the style of the clothes are starting to look so alike
Right.
that the 4-year-old is wearing what the 12-year-old can wear, and the 12-year-old is wearing what the 27-year-old can wear, and the 27-year-old is wearing what the 38-year-old woman can wear, and the 40-something-year-old woman is wearing what she could wear, and it's just going down the line. In a sense, just to say that everything just looks the same. It used to be you could tell who was what age based off of how they dressed.
Yes.
You can't tell anymore just from looking because their hair is like our hair. They're wearing nails too, and they're getting their makeup done, and the fashion is the same, and they're listening to the same music as us, and they're exposed to the same technology. There's nothing that is hidden. There's nothing that is sacred. It's all out in the open, and it's almost as if it's more forced on them to grow up. It's more forced on people to find their identity a lot sooner. And I think that's why a lot of kids are crashing in school when it comes to defining who they are, finding their identity. I think that's why there's more suicides. I think that's why there's more bullying. I think that's why we have more people getting cosmetic surgery. It really boils down to life is just such a big open boom at every single age that unless you are taking control over what is being seen and what is being heard, you are putting yourself at the mercy of what you choose to put in your body. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's important to censor what you listen to. It's important to censor what you watch. Don't watch TV shows where women are kicking each other's asses and they're black women and they're constantly fighting each other. Don't listen to music where women are identified as hoes. And it's all cool to, talk about what your genitals look like. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, we live in a world where stars are thriving because they said the most damnedest things.
That's really interesting.
It's very, very connected.
I used to be like that, like not me, but I used to be like my children. They couldn't listen to words of cussing. They couldn't do a lot, right? But when they went here or here, I couldn't control it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, could you not do this? Could you not do this? This is my car. I gonna. So what I chose to do was I said, this is what I'm gonna do. You know that you can't listen to this. You know these things on here that you should never ever repeat or you cannot display, right? Or you cannot do.
Yeah.
So what I started doing is the stuff that's out in the world that's bad and all of that. I start introducing them to that. You want to know why? Because okay, so when you are in school and you're trying to find yourself, you got a meth head user, you got a gangbanger, and you got a nerd, right? I don't want to tell my son that he can't be friends with all of them because that doesn't mean that they're not good people, right? I'm going to teach him how to conduct himself, how to know who he is, and how to move out the way when they start doing this and he start doing that. That doesn't mean that you cannot be friends with somebody that's not like you. What it means is you are true to yourself, because if you are true to yourself, they are going to respect you. And when they start indulging in drugs and gang activity, they're going to leave you where you at because they got respect for you. So I start bringing that into their world so they can know how to handle themselves when they are in those type of situations. Because while I was safeguarding them, and they got out into the world, it's gonna be like, oh hey, okay, not knowing that he's not really supposed to touch me if I don't want him to touch me,
Right.
or he's not supposed to do this when I don't want him to touch me. No, you got the right to say no.
Yes.
So I start
him.
inviting that in so they can know how to act.
Right. You're preparing them.
Yeah. So and that's kind of what that is what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's great.
So they won't have to be a follower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm so green. I guess I'll try it.
Mm-hmm.
No, you know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I started doing. I figured that would help, and they know the consequences. Right. On it. So I started exposing that.
Yeah.
Exposing them into what they should not be doing.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. And I think that makes a lot of sense. It's kind of like a reverse psychology kind of thing. It's like,
Wait, now, y'all don't go twisted and say that she said that she be smoking and drinking with her kids. That's not
right.
That ain't what she said.
What I said. Don't come for me.
Don't do it.
I got your back.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Not what she
That's
said.
not what I said.
Say that. She ain't say that. I'm looking at y'all like,
right. Like, oh, y'all agree with her?
Don't play with her like that.
No.
But yeah, that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. Is they gotta be exposed to the real world. Absolutely. It's kind of like when you look at, when I was growing up, my dad was a police officer, worked for District 7, right across the street.
Wow.
Police officer, and we got exposed to all type of stuff. The DARE program, Guff, the Guff, whatever the hell his damn name was, the dog, and y'all remember that stuff?
Yeah,
wow, that type of stuff stick with you forever.
A song for DARE. We had a song for elementary school. I'm not gonna do it right now. I know y'all was way like, come on.
But I was exposed to that stuff, and at a very young age, I understood that my dad had a very important job and that it was dangerous. And I understood that it was a possibility he wouldn't come home. And I knew that very, very young.
Right.
So for me, I was the oldest sister in our household. Okay. So that made me overprotective of my siblings. That made me overprotective of my mother. Anytime my mother would leave, I wanted to go with her. Okay. Like that's how I was with my mom. I just felt like she was better with me around her. And something tragic happened when we were kids. My mom was shot. And we had to rely on the help of our neighbors. My dad wasn't all the way together when it happened. He was going through it. And so even in those moments, I felt like I needed to step up.
Right.
So I got boobs now. I'm the woman of the house while my mom's not here, and I'm the oldest daughter. So if my dad ain't doing well, I need to go make a plate for me and my siblings.
Right. Yeah.
I need to put my feelings down. I need to bury my feelings and allow everybody around me to feel how they feel, because I'm the big sister. Until my mom came back from the hospital. And so I dealt with that. And even now, I still feel like, I have to protect. And so it took me a while to be like, that was never your place. That wasn't, you were supposed to still just be a kid. But I felt like it kind of put me in a position to grow up a little bit sooner.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's so tragic situations in your life can also put you in positions to grow the hell up.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
So that, and I thank God. Mama, I don't know if you watch it, but I know you will eventually.
Like, well, I don't know.
I love my mama. She just had her birthday September 18th. Right. I just want to say happy birthday, mama. It is your birthday month, Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara.
She's probably like, that's my baby.
But she is still here with us.
Thank God.
Yes, absolutely. I would not be the woman I am today if it wasn't for my mom. So absolutely womanhood.
Right. Yeah.
It transitions and evolves the way it does, depending on who you can have in your life too. Who is willing to take on some of those fires for you while you cool down for a moment. That matters too. So,
Definitely does.
so yeah.
You thinking about a
No,
whole bunch
not
of
for
stuff?
me. It's just when you hear women say, "Oh, I don't need a break for my kids," you're lying.
You
Right.
are
You
lying.
cannot
Yeah.
sit here and tell me that I don't care. All kids get on your nerves. Oh, I don't care. I don't care. They do.
Right.
That's just what they do. So women that say that, then be the ones that having that breakdown because you do. It's okay.
Yeah.
People don't understand. It's okay to ask for help.
Mhm.
It's okay to say I'm not dealing with this right now.
Right.
It's okay. It's actually normal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a form of self-care.
Right.
And a lot of women don't do that
Yeah.
for themselves. I don't care if it's walking around the block, leaving your phone at home on a couch and whatever. You know, as long as you are letting go, getting a peace of mind for that moment.
Yep. Because you need it.
And then get back to why you do it so hard.
Yeah.
I,
You got to collect yourself at times.
Find some time for yourself.
Yeah.
Most definitely, you definitely do. Tell them, hey, not right now.
I've been doing it a lot more lately. I told myself, I said, you know what? I need to refocus. There's too many distractions. Refocus. I feel like also part of womanhood is telling yourself, I don't have to do everything that is presented to me. I am not obligated to participate in all these things because at this time I am trying to achieve a goal. And so I realize I have to sacrifice those fun times and some of those different things that are going on because there's something bigger for me. That's the point I am in right now. The stage in my life is you have to focus. You need to refocus because all those other things are going to be there later.
Yes.
You're not missing out on nothing. You're progressing. You have to move forward. So even that sacrifice is a huge part of womanhood.
Yes.
And if them your people, they're gonna be there.
Yeah.
Right.
Your people is gonna be there. So
they're gonna be there.
That's just not.
Matter of fact, what you can't go out. I'm about to grab a bottle of wine and pull up to your crib, and we about to play charades. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
stuff like
Make
that.
some time. Yeah.
You
I
know,
feel like I'm learning that now. I know we were talking about the definition of womanhood, but learning that now.
Yeah.
Because I've always felt like I had to overcommit and always show up for people all the time.
That was me.
And then that caused anxiety to seep in, depression to seep in. And I'm just like, wait a minute, why I'm blowing up? Why I'm sweating and panicking? I've never had these issues like this.
Right.
But sit down somewhere, Tiffany. Take some time for you.
Yeah.
Did people show up for you?
No, and that's what I had.
That's why I stopped.
That's what I was like.
I said I was the same way. Like I gotta go here, I gotta go here. Man, listen. If I feel like it, I'll be in the building.
Yeah.
If I feel like there's someone I want to do, because it's not a tit for tat, but it's like if they don't ever show up for you,
right?
Not even a tad bit away. Why am I showing up for you?
Right.
Who are you? You're not better than me.
But I had to learn that because
it's I shouldn't be more loyal to you than you are to me. We right. Share that equally, right?
I
We're supposed to celebrate each other equally, right?
Absolutely, we're supposed to
stop following the trend of what they think they're supposed to do because that person's status is up here and you haven't made it there yet. But you are reaching towards. No.
I actually
yourself out.
I just seen a post. Was that today? Either yesterday or today. Somebody said, people expect you to celebrate them when it's their turn. But when it is not their turn, they're not celebrating as hard for others.
And we see it a lot today.
And it used to really, really bother me. Like, for example, I think the topic specifically was birthdays. And I'm a huge birthday person. Like, I take my birthday very seriously. Me too. Because
the whole month.
Right. Why would I take every other holiday serious but not my own? Come on. My birthday is my holiday. So don't play in my face about my birthday. That's my attitude. However, I don't care anymore who makes it and who doesn't, unless it ain't my mains.
Right. Yeah.
So like, I can invite 20 people, but as long as my main 5 are present, I'm cool. Okay. It doesn't mean that, like she said, I'm not gonna play no tit for tat. It's just I'm gonna be a little bit more relaxed on how I prioritize other events.
Right.
And it will be determined off of how I feel and not who you are. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Because I feel like some things that we choose to celebrate is because of who people are in our lives and what they bring us. And then other things that we choose to celebrate in our lives are because we choose to be a part of the celebration. I don't have to be a part of the celebration if I'm not feeling part.
Right.
If I'm not feeling the part, I'm not going to come pretend I am the part. Right? So, because that's uncomfortable. And that brings me anxiety too, being somewhere I know I have no business being. Right. So, yes.
I gotta speak on that. I do. I am one of those people you have to know to love and love to hate, right? And I know me. So I'm okay with that. Like, I don't, like, if you have somebody else right there that had these thoughts, I don't care to clear up nothing.
Yeah.
You wanna know why? Because those are they thoughts. They don't know me. They get to know. Somebody that know me would tell them, like, oh no, I don't have to speak for myself no more. And guess what? I'm gonna give a huge shout out to my coach, Mikhail.
Shout out, Mikhail.
Oh, well, hey.
She is dope, by the way.
Listen.
She is dope, by the way.
Let me tell you something. Everything that she presented to me, everything that she told me, I see her doing her own thing.
Yes.
So there was nothing she told me that I didn't see her move and groove, right? And when I tell you she showed up for me, she showed up for me. Another beautiful, intelligent, smart, strong woman.
Yes, I love it.
And me up and coming, you know what I'm saying? She took care of me. She's brushing my hair. She's making sure my jacket fits while I'm talking to you. Celebrity status all the way. Those are the type of people that you want to be around.
Yes.
Taking care of you, making sure they show up for you. Every event I ever had since she been in my life, I don't care if she stayed for the entire event, she made sure she showed up.
I love that.
Even when I say I'm going to give her something, no. What is the price?
I know that. I'm clapping.
Right.
Yes.
When I tell you, because it was always like, Lupus has no face. That's my baby, and we've been going strong. But it's been times where I had that doubt. She like, no, you perform if it's 1 million people in there, even if it's one person in that room,
and that means a lot.
That means a lot. And when I tell you, I did. This year has been the best for Lupus Has No Face.
I love that.
Best. Do you hear me?
Congratulations.
Some structure and some help, but she came in there and she put that together.
Yes, girl.
Anita, that's my girl. She on my team as well.
Strong team matters.
Boogie, DJ Boogie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They show up for me, and that is my team that I am building, and they've been rocking with me a lot.
That's awesome, girl.
I
love it. I love it.
But yeah, like, you have to have people that's around for you.
Yes.
You up here doing something, let me get you together.
Right.
There's so many women that just stare.
and be like, what you doing?
Or don't say nothing at all.
Right.
And girl, like, look at it. No, baby, what you here for?
Right. Yeah.
It's okay to speak. It's okay to be boisterous. It's
yes.
okay.
I just said this on my last episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why
I just said this.
We all, even if you're not black, we all in the same room. Hello, how you doing? I might need you for something.
Right.
You might need me for something.
Speak
I might need
up.
you connected LA. We might need each other. And those are the type of alliances you should have and women should want to build. Instead
Absolutely.
of just, because your circle is not going to take you everywhere. They just not.
They're not.
They're not.
They're not. And they're not going to be by your side every step of the way. Because sometimes what happens is people have to prioritize certain circumstances.
Yeah.
So, you have to, sometimes you got to work with what you got. You know what I mean?
Man.
So, but
and if it's always team you, them not your people.
Right.
Your people should be able to tell you, like, I'm riding with you right now. Behind the closed door, you was wrong. You
exactly.
Don't you ever do no stuff like that. Team you all day. Them not your people.
Them definitely not your folks.
Not your
and then
people.
they're able to do it in love. That's another thing. Our
Right.
approach have to be with love.
Yes.
You get that catty, petty.
Yes.
I used to rock with the pettiness.
Like, shut it off.
Super petty.
Cut it off.
But
now.
Now we get to the point where it's like, okay, let me pull you to the side and let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
First of all, are you okay?
Right.
How are you
I
feeling?
think that's
today?
important. That's important.
People don't ask like small questions. It could be anything.
Right.
Slight triggers.
I think that's important. That is so important. Like, before you assume something about me or
Right.
before you take it to the next fucking level,
Mhm.
did you check on me?
Yes.
Did you check on me? Because you don't know what I'm experiencing. And I was just saying this on my last show is I'm not someone who likes to bring my misery to other people. I will hide away until I can be my best self. And until I can get out of whatever funk I'm in. But I'm not going to spread that amongst others who I love. That's just not my character. But if I'm in a position and you see I'm in a position and something seems off with me, did you check? Or you just was like,
right.
Everything
or just
is not
start
always
running with it,
about
like,
you.
you know, Tiffany did it. Like, no.
Everything is not always about you.
Right.
Like this not your norm.
Absolutely.
If you was rude to me, right?
right.
I would wait when it's the appropriate time. And I will come for you as far as checking on you because that's not your normal behavior. Like,
Right.
did I offend you? Did I say something that you didn't
Right.
like? I have to make sure you're comfortable in my space because that's what I want to know. Like you, and then you'd be like, you know what? It wasn't even that. But people don't do that.
They don't do
just
that.
Rah, 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 like, and then you're gonna get rah 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 back because I'm already rah 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 already, right? People don't do that. They feel like they up here and how dare you? Like, no, bring that down a little bit. It's okay to be feminine. It's okay to love on another one, like baby. And then we brush it off. So many women leave other women with hatred and grudges for no reason. They can't even tell you why they got drama in the first place. Right. I don't like her. Well, what did she do? I just don't like her. Well, what did she do?
Yeah.
And can't even explain it.
What did she do?
Or even in situations where this is what I really, really don't like is don't be trying to recruit other people to not like me.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Where you got the clap hands? Come on, clap them hands.
Yeah, can we clap for that? I don't know how we got here.
Right.
But where?
You read something I can't see.
Right. What we looking at over here?
I'll be hoping to be some comments. We got comments or anything, sir? Tone, if you're back there. I don't know.
You done fell out. But yeah, don't recruit the people. Though.
Don't recruit people.
And even if you do tell, I'm the type of person. Even if you say you didn't know her, but you knew her, like you know, y'all had crossed paths, and you was just so nasty about her. I'm like, okay, you know,
right.
But I need my own experience.
My own experience.
So then when I have my own experience, I'm like, what happened? Like she seemed real cool to me.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe whatever your thought process is, it probably will change.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't care who tell me about what. I have to see.
I gotta learn you.
I have to see my own self.
Absolutely. That's also huge. Whoa, we got comments up though.
She done made it. Hey,
the woozah.
Where's she at?
We got it, boo. Hey, come on, sis.
Jones.
Women definitely are strong. Y'all do a lot. Whoa, so true.
So let y'all.
Steph, I got so much to say about this, but can't type that fast. It's a whole new world out here.
Right.
Perception is power. As a mom of a 7-year-old, no way in hell will she be expressing shit until she is grown. Dress accordingly. Would I wear that to work? No. So you ain't wearing that to school. She's not there right now, but I'm preparing. Hoping that me establishing those personal values ahead of time will influence her more than fitting into the crowd. I love that, Steph. I'm gonna clap for that.
I'm covered up.
Absolutely.
Like I still feel a certain time if I'm somewhere, you know, and they older, I'll be like, oh, I feel kind of
right. Can't be around my elders.
Yeah. Don't cuss around them either.
Right. Looking all snazzy and all. Nope, we ain't doing it. We ain't doing it. Nope, ain't gonna be no. I'm sorry, Grandma.
Right. Somebody gonna tell them now that we have social media. Like, you know, I saw so and so.
You know, she was wearing that kind of top, that one top.
Right.
But no, I'm not modest either. So don't get it twisted. I like me some style, some fashion. I like to dress. Don't get it twisted. I ain't a prude. But when it comes to being around people, other people's children, please, just, you know, think about it. If you go into the zoo, come on. Even a grocery store, really? Them little bitty booty shorts, the ones where your booty popping out the bottom.
Pajama shorts. I see that. Well,
y'all make me sick. The ones doing that.
I said, can you take that off, please? Take that off.
But that's the thing.
Listen.
It is a thing
She
though.
had killed me. Okay, so listen. That's
Don't tell me
funny. I would
you
never.
walk out with bonnet.
No, no.
Uh
But I know how embarrassing that could be. So I'm driving. So I'm
Come
driving
on,
my
get your
other.
lie together.
No,
Come
it's
on,
the
let me
truth.
turn
So
this up.
I'm driving my other car, right? My other
Mhm.
car is a fixer upper, right?
Okay.
So my main car needs to be fixed,
Okay.
right? My daughter goes to Kennedy Middle School, or like, black that out. She goes to a school in Germantown, right?
Okay.
She gets in the car like, Mom. I said, what? She was embarrassed, right? I said, I get it, because I be embarrassed by driving this car too sometimes. So if you want to tell me to park over there, I get it. She was like, yeah, Mom, please, can you do it? And I just didn't want to say nothing.
yeah.
But I just said it to say about the bodies. Like,
Mhm.
so I know my daughter is embarrassed by me pulling. I am too, but it's getting us from A to B.
Right, right.
As soon as I
just
see
ain't getting
them coming through the door,
She-
I take it off.
Hey, I was like, so you be embarrassed? She was like, yeah. I'll be like, what you be like? Like, dang, she put up. She be like, yeah. I'll be like, I feel you. I was like, so I get it. Like, why would you go into a school with your kids and with a bonnet on your head?
Pajama pants.
Pajama
Man, they
pants,
do it.
titties popping out. But I'm never doing that.
Right.
They doing it, man. They doing it, and
The most
Yeah.
you get is a
Because it's
ponytail
like
from
you're
the back.
feeding it, and like my approach to it when I tell these parents this, because I try to lead with love.
yeah,
Because my thing is I don't want anybody correcting me, and it's like like who you
right,
talking to? So
right.
I was like, we don't want to feed into the stereotype. They already think that we don't know as much as they do. So at least come in looking presentable, because your babies are looking at you. Because I
Yeah.
with K3, so I'm like, take that off. I'm like, and y'all got full bundles under it anyway. Like, show that
Yeah.
hair, do it. And they're like, Miss
Pull-
Tiffany, you crazy.
pull back.
And then they'll think about it like, okay, well, she didn't come at me crazy, so let me just go ahead and take it off. And then next day they come in, hey, Miss Tiffany. I'm like, hey, I can do that too. Act like I got some hair. Don't be swinging that hair.
No,
'Cause I'm bald.
Each one to
Right,
each
right.
one. You know what I'm
But
saying?
that's why I said we got to get back to women. If you're out there and you can lead with love and correcting us,
yeah,
please do it. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid to do it, because a lot of these young mothers, they're looking for solid, strong women to help them out,
Mhm.
but they're so scared to ask because we get into that mode of being prideful,
right.
because somebody may have done something or said something that was negative. So they're like, I'm not even gonna fool with her, because we have people that are
Yeah.
like that,
You lose
be
Yeah.
nasty. You be
everything.
like,
Right.
girl, why you acting like
You
that?
right.
You
You
know,
lose everything good
Mhm.
around you being pride. Your pride
Yeah.
ain't gonna take you nowhere.
Sure
Nowhere.
isn't.
So it's gonna be
That's true.
standstill
Mhm.
stuck.
That's true. That's true.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Seriously. People with that pride, like you gotta not to say that, but you have to hate yourself.
Mhm.
Like, how
Hmm.
can you have so much pride when you can talk about it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
People that you say you love and it's your family, that you're supposed to talk about it.
Right.
Why are you keeping that hurt in if somebody did
Mhm.
hurt you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a voice, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You
We
need
should
to
be able to communicate and articulate with
express it.
understanding. Even if you agree to disagree, at least
Right.
you was heard.
Mhm.
I don't understand that.
I don't
that
either.
pride will
Yeah.
not take you anywhere.
Anywhere.
I
And
do.
I cannot stand the people that say, I don't need no help.
Yes, you
you
do.
do.
I'm looking
Millionaires
at you.
and
You
billionaires
definitely
had
need
help
help.
for a team to even get there.
Mhm.
You ain't going nowhere by yourself. I don't
Right.
care who that may be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the wrong business mindset. If you don't need no help, yes, you
Yes, you
do.
do.
Yes, you
need a
do.
whole team.
You definitely need a team. You need people who are riding with you,
Mhm.
and people who you can rely on, and you can reciprocate energy with. That's
Understand the
a
vision.
huge
Right.
piece of your foundation.
Yes.
Because a lot of
Huge
people won't
piece.
understand your vision. They're like,
Right.
she don't know what she doing. Why she always
Right.
doing this, or why
And
she
them
always
not your
doing that?
people.
Right.
Mhm.
Ain't your people. It's Creole.
And you have to learn that as a woman. Okay,
That's true.
such and such can't go with you. Like you said, your brunch friends can't go out of town.
Right. Yeah.
And I had to learn that too. I think about like a personal experience. I had a really close friend. She would travel the world.
Mhm.
And I'm like, why she never asked me to go on those trips? And I finally just asked her, like, why you never asked me? I'm like, we're both Aquariuses.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we usually celebrate our birthday together when you're not. So why you never asked me? So at the time, I was over 400 pounds.
Okay.
And her mindset was, if I know I'm doing like rock climbing and we're doing these long tours where we're walking, I'm not going to ask you to come because you're going to be tired. You're going to be, have an attitude. You're not going to do that. And I was like, oh, now it makes sense. I'm thinking you just don't want me to go because you think I don't have any money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, now that makes sense because you're a friend. You're thinking about my health and my well-being.
Yeah.
But me, I'm thinking you just don't want me there
Yeah.
because you just want that experience with your other friends by yourself.
Well, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Would you rather have a person just ask you, say, hey, I'm going to plan this trip. These are some of the things I want to do on the trip. Would you be interested? Would you rather somebody do that, or would you rather have them just make that decision for you and not include you?
Well, now I'm in the position where I can book the trips and get the commission off of it.
I know that's right,
Thanks
sis.
to our coach.
Look,
So then you gotta ask me.
I'm a clap.
If I book my own trip now.
I'm a clap because
Book
one day
my
y'all
own
gonna book a trip for me.
right?
But-
Like a whole excursion. Like, do you want to go on a trip now with me? Huh? No.
But would
Right.
you, if that
I wanna
wasn't
be
the case?
asked.
Yeah.
Ask
Do you
me,
wanna
don't
ask
make
me,
my
at least-
decision
yeah.
for me.
Yeah,
Let
don't take
me
it away
tell
from
you
me.
no.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ask me. I don't care if
Ask
I told
me.
you I had a million things to do.
Right.
Ask me.
Yeah. At least add.
So I
Yeah.
can feel like I'm included,
Mhm.
right?
And see,
Yeah.
then that I feel like now that was a lesson. That was a
Mhm.
moment to teach that person,
Right.
hey, but this is, you didn't have to make that choice for
Right.
me. I understand. I appreciate you caring enough to attempt
Mm-hmm.
to smooth the situation over, but please ask.
Right. And I think she
Yeah.
wasn't trying to hurt my feelings
Yeah.
because that's a hard, conversation to
Yeah.
have with your friend. Like,
Yeah.
all right. But I'm like, okay. Well, I appreciate it now, but like, don't take my decision from me.
Right.
Don't
Don't,
take
yeah.
my
let
That's
me
decision
right.
from me.
Don't make my choice.
Yeah,
take my
because
choice away from
just
me.
you
So,
asking at one time is
Mhm.
going to set the tone for however
Mhm.
other many trips after that,
Right. Yeah.
based off the circumstances. So, but I understand not
Mhm.
everybody knows how to handle circumstances right
Right.
off the bat, and
Mhm.
sometimes they need to learn
Right.
you, and
Yep.
that's the opportunity for them to learn
Learn
you.
you. Yeah.
So yeah,
I feel like uncomfortable conversations is well needed more often
Mhm.
right at the moment, because why should I go home because you made me feel some type of way
Right.
and I'm mad and you still happy?
Mhm.
No. What? No.
Listen.
Listen, we at this event. Hey baby, can I talk to you when you're done? Yeah. Listen,
Mhm.
you really made, and these are my
Right.
feelings. So
Mhm.
my feelings are
Validated.
truth.
Yeah.
They are
They matter.
validated.
Mhm.
But I just want you to know that you made me feel some type of way, and
Mhm.
is it, where we going from here? Because I feel some type of
Right.
way. These are my feelings.
Mhm.
My feelings can be wrong. She probably didn't even mean it that way, but this is how
It
I
made me
feel.
feel.
Yeah.
So don't invalidate my feelings
Mhm.
and don't take away from how I
Mhm.
feel. I want you to address it so we can move on.
Yeah.
And people do that all the time. Go
They
home pissed
Yeah.
when they could have just been like, "Hey, that's that pride. You ain't getting nowhere with
Mhm.
that."
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm a communicator. I don't care.
Mhm.
You, shit.
I
Hey,
feel like-
you gonna know. I'm telling you.
And like you said, because
Mhm.
there's different perception. Perception is huge, and
Yeah.
that's what causes people to act
Mhm.
and do things the way they do things because of how they perceive the world, and they look at how they would want to be treated, and they
Right.
assume
Mhm.
that that's what you would want to be treated
Mhm.
as. And so that's another thing, is realizing that people aren't us.
Right.
People
Yeah.
aren't going to move like us,
Mhm.
and we can't expect us
Mhm.
from them. So that's another thing that I'm discovering, because one of my favorite things to say would be like, because I wouldn't do that to you.
Oh,
Right.
mine too.
Well, they could say, "Well, I'm
I
not
said
you."
that for
right?
a long time.
Right.
They do.
I don't understand. I would never.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I feel like.
Well, damn, that didn't get me very far.
Oh my
Mhm.
god.
It's like, and now
Oh my
what?
God.
You know? So
That has no power. Seriously, no power.
Yeah.
No bearings on anyone's actions, decisions, feelings,
Mhm.
the way they value themselves, or how they're going to behave. So yeah,
Mhm.
interesting. We had a lot to discuss today. And it is 8:44.
Sure is.
We really
Oh.
took it to the next level with
Oh.
this conversation.
This one.
I'm happy.
It's
I
a
was in
much
my
needed
class
conversation.
Yeah.
It was long. It was long.
Look, we
This
might have to
hour
do a
was-
part 2.
Yes, this was great.
We
I
might do a
love
part
you,
two
ladies.
to a lot.
We definitely
Yeah.
yes. Y'all are welcome to come back anytime.
Thank you. Thanks for
Anytime.
having us.
Absolutely. I thought this was great. I just was inspired to talk about it. I too have a lot going on. I'm a
Mhm.
mom. I've got the podcast. I've got my own business. And I also do Coach My Growth every quarter. I'm actually planning for Coach My Growth right now, October 15th, 2 to 6:30 p.m. here at Sherman Phoenix. If you have not gotten your ticket or registered, get your ticket and register. They're free. And the first 20 people who signed up got free Coach My Growth tote bags on behalf of Fight AAA. Fight AAA. Shout out to you for being a sponsor for Coach My Growth. That's ran by my girl Tashima Dean. I'm gonna clap for you, sis. I appreciate that. I appreciate your support. So we are really working together. Also, shout out to the rest of the Coach My Growth crew. Again, if you have not gotten your tickets, get your tickets. It's free. Come shop.
It's free.
Right.
Come
Free.
shop. Come meet some really dope coaches. As y'all kept hearing these two say, they have a coach.
Right.
Coach Mikhail is their coach. She's not on the Coach My Growth team, but she is a coach, which means people need their coaches and they love
do.
their
They sure
coaches.
do.
Yeah, they
Right.
And they appreciate what their coaches do for them, and it really is impactful on your life. So if you do not have a coach and you're looking for a coach,
Or if you're stuck,
or if you're
can't
stuck,
make a decision,
Mhm.
don't know
Yeah.
which way to go.
yeah,
They make sense of all of
you
that.
just want some
Right.
insight from someone else. Again, the event is free, so just show your face. And one of our coaches or several of our coaches will be there to have a conversation with you and show you what they have going on and how they can help you or even people you love. All right, so I just had to throw that in there because I have been super, super busy with planning that. That's where a lot of my time is going these days, is planning this event that is about 25 days away, and that's just me guessing, but it's close. So shout out to the team, CMG. If I had some kind of hand sign, I would do it,
I thought you was about to bring that up, girl.
but I don't.
Oh my God. Oh
But I
my
know.
God.
We gonna have to create like a little secret handshake, like a little, I don't know,
Yeah,
patty
look,
cake.
somebody already asking for part 2. We
I
part
love
2
it.
Part
coming.
2?
Yeah.
Yes. Hey,
right.
Steph, maybe you come on. Maybe you come on, Steph. Steph Brown.
Give us a manhood definition so we
Hey,
can pick it apart.
Ooh.
we do need.
Ooh.
You know, that
So we
wouldn't be
can
a bad
pick it
idea.
apart.
If there
That's
are
good.
any guys tuning in and want to come on and talk about manhood, we can make that a thing. That'd be cool.
Right.
And have the women here and the men, and we can kind of hash that out. Like, what does that look like for y'all? Because I'm curious. Because men, they've been on a roll on social media these days.
Ooh.
So clearly, the perception of manhood is not what it used to be.
Right.
And all women want to know. We're curious. What are y'all? How do y'all move? And what y'all perception is on life too. So specifically, us women want to know. So
right.
Yeah,
we do
wanna
part 2 with maybe 2 of y'all.
Right.
We'll figure it out.
So we can take the notes, take it back to the women, and
Yeah.
get us together.
Yeah.
Get us right together.
She said she gonna text me. All right, Steph. We can make this happen, sis. You know how we roll. All right. So I just want to say I love you, ladies.
Love you too, girl.
Thank y'all so much. I
We got
appreciate
you.
y'all. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy how we can come together and do this. And every time I swear I come out with something new.
Mhm.
So y'all really are insightful. Really
Thank you.
insightful
Thanks for
women.
having us.
Very,
We
very
are.
wise women, beautiful women,
Look, I'm
inspiring
like, you
women.
wanna walk for lupus. I can support.
And you
I
do.
just
I
had
wanted you to
one.
actually talk about that.
Okay.
Can you drop that in there
All
for
right.
us?
So the week before your event,
Yes.
October 7th, NAMI walks. If you're looking to support the team, support my team. I am an overcomer of anxiety and depression. I say daily because it's a
Continuing battle.
continuous thing.
Yeah.
And I am the captain of Team I Persevere.
I love
so
it.
That's my brand. I Persevere.
I love it.
So-
I love it. I'm gonna
Okay.
clap for you, sis.
And it'll be at Milwaukee County. Milwaukee County Zoo. I'm excited for that.
Yes,
Link
I was
or
gonna
anything
say,
up in there or
do me a
anything like that?
favor. Yeah, do me a
I got
favor.
you.
Send it to me, and I will go ahead and put it on there.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes, and tag me in anything you want
Yeah,
to tag
remind
me
me
in,
so
and
I
it'll go
can-
right to my
Yeah.
timeline. But yeah, that is it for tonight's show. This is Minding My Own Podcast. I'm your host, Kenda. This is Savannah. This is Tiffany, and we out.